Recording starting. There we go. Hello, amazing hackers. Hope you're all doing well today. I often open with the phrase amazing hackers, but I tell you, that you really don't want to take this guy to a nerd party because you'll lose every nerd off. He'll take every girl. Nothing's left. Nothing's left. I'm so impressive. And the best part is, this guy's been doing it since the age of 9. He's 15. Jesus Christ. He has a list this big of programming languages which he knows. And he's telling me, don't judge by my age. Believe me, Jesus Christ. You should see the list of achievements this guy has. And when I saw his profile, it still doesn't do justice to how fucking awesome this guy is. Holy crap. Thank you so much for joining me. Thank you so much, Pavitra Jha. Would you please take a moment to introduce yourself?
Yeah, sure. So my name is Pavitra Jha. I'm 15 years old. I currently work as a freelance offensive security researcher. I specialize in finding zero-day vulnerabilities in popular code bases, Chrome, and such stuffs. Respectively, I've got a Hall of Fame recognition from Google, Oracle, MoonPay, and further going on, I specialize in source code review and binary exploitation. Also, I hold the title of Indian Book of Records for being the youngest ethical hacker in India. I work with police, the local police, for stuff they can't handle. Okay, and you can dig up my LinkedIn profile further.
The stuff they can't handle, he says like it's the most normal thing in the world. Jesus Christ. I'm sorry, but I'm gonna judge your age, dude. I can't help it. Don't judge my age. What the hell? Like the most of the people, and I speak to a lot of hackers out there, they haven't been this impressive like in the last 10 years. How did you get started, man? What brought you to this field?
So I've been fascinated into breaking things since a very early age. Obviously, a child always has this fantasy of becoming a hacker, seeing movies like Who Am I and Black Hat. But I took my curiosity to a level next. Additionally, like people usually don't have a path, right? They just have curiosity. But I was a bit lucky because my brother was pursuing a diploma in computer science. He used to teach me C and Python and such language. Further going on, I took more interest into it. Though at that age I didn't used to understand that many programming languages he used to teach, but still, as he was a very important figure in my life because he helped in convincing my father and mother for what I do is legal and such stuffs. If he hadn't been in my life, it would have been a really big problem for me. So that's how I
That's
got into the
awesome.
field.
Yeah, and I can imagine that, like, coming from like some non-hacker family into somebody who's
Yeah,
really
yeah.
talented in hacking must be
Yeah, yeah,
crazy.
yeah, yeah. So, they used to think that am I not going on the wrong path, right? I'm not gonna get caught by police or something, right? That was the first impression. Then my
It,
brother helped in clearing out the impression, and so they
it,
helped me. So,
I'm not gonna lie. It's like imagine, right, that there would be some kind of bad organization and they give you 100,000 euros to do bad stuff. Would you stay ethical at that point?
yeah, obviously, because see, for me as a hacker, my reputation and my ethics are very important. Because in the long run, this 100,000 euros isn't gonna help me because I know my potential. I can score that point, like I can score that money anytime I want, right? But money isn't the very important thing. I can do zero-day researches. I can do many such stuffs. I can take zero-day initiative from trends. I can report vulnerabilities there. I can get triple of the money they would be offering. So I won't risk my career and my name over something that petty.
So it's not only money that drives you, that's for sure. It's also
No, no, no,
reputation
no, no.
and yeah,
Yeah,
that's for sure. I can hear
it's
that in your voice, man. It matters a lot to you.
Yeah, because I started, I like, obviously I didn't even knew this field had a part of which recognized hackers. Okay, I just started out of pure curiosity. I won't really waste my skills and all I've gained over this time over something like money or recognition, right? I would try to build
And
my reputation better only.
like when you were younger, right? Like what were you doing in terms of hacking? Did you see those programs and did you think I can abuse that? Or like how should I imagine that?
Like at the early age, there were channels like the Live Overflow one, yeah, but there weren't really resources, proper resources weren't available. Like I won't say I'm an old age guy, but still I've seen the cybersecurity from a very long time. Okay, so I know that since back then, these resources like ChatGPT, like I can literally do tuck 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 and I would get the code or anything I want. But at that point, we had to literally, if I had 6 days, I would spend 4 days in just finding the resources. Okay, so at that point, I used to see all the YouTube videos I used to get. I used to read the articles and do stuff like that. Yeah, it was a bit of struggle, but curiosity surpassed the struggle.
Yeah, and it's clear like your mind works different than other people's. That's clear. Like to have an interest in cybersecurity at that age, you have to think differently. And aren't you like interested in partying and like drinking and like having fun?
Actually, no, hacking gave me the most pleasure, to be honest. Like more than all
That
those
is so
stuffs, I
cool.
was happy in breaking. I was happy in breaking the stuffs.
That is
So partying
like
wasn't really a stuff for me.
I can honestly say this. I've been a very big drug addict in the past, right? I don't know if you know this from me, but I used to be a poly addict. I was addicted to anything I could get my hands on. I tried everything under the sun and I climbed out of that hole. I'm definitely no longer in that issue. But believe me, hacking, there's nothing better than hacking. It just feels so great because
Yeah, yeah.
you're actually helping people, right?
Like to be honest, helping wasn't the very thing that drove me. The thrill of breaking the system was the most thrilling thing in the whole hacking part. Like I used to break system and I would go, "Oh man, I hacked it! Let's go!" That way I would go. Okay, so yeah, hacking your curiosity and you need a long-term goal. Okay, like a goal is very important in your life, and I decided that I would dedicate myself completely to hacking. And that's how I got Fairhaven.
Yeah, and like the way that your brain thinks differently, mine does as well to a degree, but I'm a very functional hacker. You guys know me. I love IDORs, I love broken access control, business logic. You're totally different than that, right?
Yeah, like I also first started with those stuffs like IDO and such stuff when I felt that this isn't giving me that level of thrill I wanted. Like this isn't enough for me. Okay,
It's not
I
broken enough.
it is not broken enough. Yeah, really, it isn't broken enough. I want to hack a system in a blink of an eye. If that's the case, I would need to surpass what I have today. So I switched over to memory corruption and I did many such crazy stuffs. Like memory corruption, actually, I started because I got to know RC through web application security. Then further, I proceeded with memory corruption, and like I got to know that the real RCE game exists there. And I was like, no, dude, if RC exists there, then that's where I should be. So
So
that's
you're
why
you're
I
talking
switched over
about
to
are you talking about like long-term memory or ROM, random access mem? What kind of memory we talking about here?
like in memory corruption. I would say that yeah, random access memory would be the one I would say. Like I do memory corruption vulnerabilities more because RCEs are better presenter. Okay, we get more opportunities there. Yeah. So
And it's also mobile, I heard, right? It's a lot of mobile. It's a lot of
Mobile, yeah,
Android.
mobile, yeah. So mobile Android stuff is that first off, the assembly is divided into two sections. We can say that there is x86 and there is x64, and Android runs on a bit different. We would say the architecture is a bit same, but the language, the assembly itself is ARM 64 and such stuff. So those like the way you can find binary exploitation in a laptop, it changes with architecture on Android, but the vulnerability remains the same. Like a programming language, it's like in a programming language, oops remains the same, right? Object oriented programming, the similar manner, the vulnerabilities remain the same. And actually the thing is that when I was doing binary exploitation and source code review, so at that point I felt that there are similarities. Okay, there is a whole lot of similarities because we take memory corruption as a really boring thing. We have to sit in front of like reversing and debugging and do such stuff and reverse the complete thing. But when I got there, I understood that if you have the basic strong, like the C, x86 architecture, x64, you know how system works, how bit flips, uh, stuffs. When your basics are clear, then reversing and binary exploitation becomes really easy. uh, Further moving on, like binary exploitation. In binary exploitation, I would like to say it is divided into many sections. Like there exists stack based vulnerabilities, there exist heap based vulnerabilities. Then binary exploitation itself has many applications. Like we can hack Chrome with it, for instance. We can get a Chrome renderer RCE, then further do sandbox escape, then get a full chain RCE, do kernel exploits for high privilege escalation. In such cases, what we basically do is uh, usually the hacking we do, right? We, the hackers from web application security, do is limited to developer mistakes, correct? But here, what we are making isn't a developer mistake. It is a memory issue. Okay, it is a memory layout issue. So that's a key difference. That if suppose let's say you have Apache. Apache has a very saturated code base. Like it is completely like very hardened right now because many developers are working on it. But the thing is that in such a case where you don't have human mistakes, you need to rely on machine level mistakes. You see, that's where binary exploitation takes place in such cases. And really, it isn't limited to what we think. Because if you know the applications, I bet you that you would want to do binary exploitation and leave, like not leave, obviously, but also do binary exploitation. Because binary exploitation has like practical stuff. There are many. Suppose you are given a completely static website which has nothing, no functionality, and only a server that is hosting it, which is Apache HTTPD. In such a case, you would think that there is no way to pop a shell, like to get a RCE. But if you know binary exploitation, what you can do is you can literally find a vulnerability in that static application and cause the backend to give an RCE. Okay, that's the level of
Holy
stuff
shit.
it is.
That's crazy,
So
dude. Like I started out with Cheat Engine on a Game Boy emulator, and I never got further than that. That's where I stopped. Any game hacking that you do? Do you do game hacking sometimes, or is it not in your?
no, during my time as a like when I was learning reverse engineering, I never used to sell hacked games. But yeah, I used to reverse and do modding stuffs a lot, like back then. Because
Yeah, yeah.
reversing is really important, and if you want to understand memory layouts and get like we have muscle memory, right? Reflexes. So in binary exploitation, reflexes are very important. And in such case, you need to reverse a lot of binaries to actually gain a proper understanding of what's happening under the hood. Okay. Like for that reason, I used to do such stuffs. Yeah.
Like, okay, you say you like very technical exploits. Why not cross-site scripting then? Because you have mutation, you have DOM, you have reflected, you've stored this self, you have there's all these types of cross-site scripting. Isn't that
Yeah, yeah,
technical?
yeah, yeah. They are technical. I won't disagree. Obviously, every field is really
Of
technical,
course,
and the
yeah.
more deep you go, the more chains you can find. Like XSS can also be escalated in cloud security. But I am not saying that I am doing only binary exploitation, right? I am saying I'm on both worlds.
Nice.
Yeah.
So you're
So in
basically
that case,
saying,
I do both. Yeah, I am technical and I love XSS as well because it's a really very good entry point for RCE.
yeah, and
Okay.
SSRF as well. SSRF is also a
Yeah,
pretty good
sure.
entry point for like
Like,
I never look for RCEs myself because it's too far away for me. But like I could imagine that like I don't know if you know that, but Nahamsec found that RCE and Lyft, I believe, through SSRF. That's
like
crazy, dude.
what I see is that usually V hunters are having a really bad perspective of recon. Okay, that is a really bad thing because I take subdomains as a treasure. Because no big organization is mad enough to just scrap and get a random subdomain online. Okay, they are putting their resources in it. So I believe it has a meaning, even if it is a 404 website. You just need to dig, you just need to dig deep enough that you make a vulnerability appear. Okay, like for example, I would give you an example. There was a program which I had signed a non-disclosure agreement with. Now, what the vulnerability was that I had gotten a 404 website, but because I am a very obsessive guy, obviously. So what I did, I took that 404 website, went through a lot of Google Docs, like I dorked the website, the URL, and landed on a XML file. Okay, the XML file was it was that URL in specific was a subset of the whole API set that was present on the API, like that XML. And that now that I have found that how is this API actually implemented, and it is internal, not accessible by usual public, and you cannot even find it through Postman. Okay, you cannot reverse the API. So I found the implementation of that API, and surprisingly enough, it was a IoT based API. Like the IoT device, the IoT device originally was a healthcare device which used to do MRI scans and stuff. Like it was a health related product, and what I had found was that the IoT device was doing a request to that API with a user agent that was specific to the IoT itself. Okay. And in that case, I found that if I change the user agent to the IoT one, I can get access to the API. Now I digged deep enough, and that was a 404 site. Okay, nothing. It is literally saying 404 not found. Now, usually most hunters would leave it, right? I digged enough and found the actual implementation. And guess what? I found the broken object level access control issue over there. Okay, and literally that gave me access to healthcare reports and a lot of stuff. I can't really disclose everything, but it was really insane.
And like that reminds me, one day I was looking for, this was a vulnerability disclosure program, for sure not Google, but they had a broad scope, and I found this domain and had nothing on it. At a certain point, after searching enough, I found the login page. And then I was like, okay, login page, custom written login page. You can already hear me coming. I was going to fuss the hell out of that thing. And I found a search page, and I found like personal data of so many people. It's insane how much there's still out there. But you do that on Google, dude. You do that shit on Google.
Yeah, do that on Google.
But that means that there's enough that there is still exploits out there, because a lot of hunters are like,
Yeah, yeah,
"Oh,
yeah.
there's no
See, listen,
exploits."
listen. I want to say one thing. That is, the today's generation is really very restless. Okay, they are like, we have to go find a bug and get a bounty. We have to go find a bug and bounty. Array, you have to wait. You have to have patience. Okay, bug isn't something like a magic or a black magic or something. Okay, you need a time for it. You need to go with the methodological process, with the comprehensive process, and only through that can you actually make a bug appear, not find a bug, but appear a bug, make it appear.
Yes, indeed.
Like see,
And it's
uh,
like
like
trust your gut feeling, right? Your gut will bring you there, but you can't have that gut feeling if you don't look at
yeah,
everything.
exactly. In my early ages, what I used to do was I was daily for hours. I would just look at those random Google content, like random requests, random stuffs, absolutely random. Like those requests didn't even made any sense to me at that point. But I tried to understand it. What is this? What is that? What is this? Like they are like coming and XSS, give me payload, give me tool, give me payload, give me tool. Yeah, copy
And
paste.
how do you
That's how it has become. Like earlier, when there weren't resources, I used to like literally sit on burp suit and sit for hours like this and do okay, this is the header, this header means this header means that. Okay, I used to read RFCs. I used to read RFCs. So the implementations of the protocols, that stuff I used to read. Like
that's
that's
so
how deep I
cool. I love
had
that, dude.
gone.
Yeah, I love that because you go really deep. And like, how do you manage all that information though? How do you manage all that data?
Yeah, see, I believe, personally believe, after doing bug bounty for this many years, that data needs to be sorted and every information is important. Okay, so I have made tons of custom scripts that actually does that part for me. Like I
Nice,
just
bro.
I'm obviously I won't post this the stuff because they give me edge.
Dude, yeah, and now with like AI, it's crazy because I have custom agents that work for like they don't do stuff, but they make code for me, code that I already know how to make anyway. It's like I know how to make this, so if I can just type it out, it's like appearing. And
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
what I
yeah,
like
yeah.
about AI so much, dude. But people think AI is gonna hack for them. Forget about it. Like forget about it. AI isn't gonna hack for you.
No, 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 no. See, there is a chance that AI might take over cybersecurity in a very hypothetical situation. But still, we can never be sure, right? But still, even if that's the case, if you are skilled enough, you can push into unknown boundaries, which it cannot, because it's being uh, trained over stuff that already has been done. You need to find your own unique edge. Only then can you survive in this AI wave. But if you do find it, there is no way that an AI can replace you. But yeah, the ones doing the script kiddie stuffs, that copy and paste and such stuffs, I believe they might get replaced real soon.
For sure. Like what I hear a lot is that you understand things very deeply. It doesn't matter what it is, you try to understand it. And I try to do that with the humans behind the application. You try to do that with the application. What do I mean with that is like for broken access control, I don't look for broken access control. I just use the application the way it's intended to be used, and then you go through all of the functions over and over again. You make a different account type. You go in there and enter tenant. You have different things to test for. And a lot of it gets very technically quick as well, but it's different. It's very differently technical than you. Like you're staring at code all day and like memory
Yeah,
and
yeah.
shit.
Because you know, the deeper you go, the more potential you have to actually pop a literal shell out of it. Okay, so shell is important in my life. I need shell to survive. So,
So cool. I have this guy,
so
right? Like I make labs, and he always tries to pass them by in a way that is not intended to be used. I will introduce you to him. You're gonna love him. He's also this driven, and he goes like, he gives me these really unique JS fuck challenges, and I'm like, bro, I don't even know JS fuck. What the hell? And then it's like you have to learn it and understand it, right?
Yeah,
And I heard you as well that you said you were reading RFCs. That's an important one. I don't think a lot of people understand what it means to read an RFC, but that's how HTML5 exploits exist. That's how different browsers have this one pops
yeah,
exist as this one
exactly,
doesn't.
exactly. Like RFCs are one of the most important resources out there. I don't know why anyone is using it. Even the top tier web application security researchers like Orange Desai, you might be knowing. Orange. Okay. He's one of the best researchers out there. So he as well reads RFCs like on daily basis. What I do basically, if you want to get started, the best way to start is read CVEs, which is the painstaking part. You need to read tons of CVEs. You need to read tons of like reports. Okay, not the ones that you already know, but the ones that are unique. Okay, but I what I usually used to do was go on HackerOne, Integrity, or anywhere, go Medium, read tons of reports, try making a lab of it. Okay, not just understand it,
Oh
but
shit,
make a
yes.
lab of it. Like make a lab out of it. And when you have the code level understanding of the stuff, right, you won't be reliant on payloads and stuff like that. Okay, at this point, everybody is like, go tools. Tell me tools. Tool, what do I do? Tool. That's how it has become. Like that's really sad part. I don't really like it because I believe the
Yeah.
manual part is the best actually.
Yeah,
Because
and even if you
scanner,
needed to like write it yourself.
like what I do is I whenever I find my approach unique, I make a script and I run it. Okay. In the background, I first off I use 18 different tools to find subdomains, sort them out as per their names. Then further going on, I would uh, combine them and deduplicate everything. Then use HTTPX on it. Then then literally manually visit every site there is. That's my only methodology because there is nothing better than manual review. Okay, and in the background run as many tools as you want. Right, there
Yeah,
is no
and
such restrictions.
there's a section of subdomain exploration that people are forgetting because it seems like everyone is doing enumeration, but nobody's doing the brute forcing part.
Yeah, exactly. Like there is DNS brute forcing you can do. There is a SSL certificate level things. There are methods where you can literally find subdomains using the logo of the websites, right? You can find the hash of the favicon and further give it to Shodan and such stuffs and dork it and find subdomains like inner subdomains and so many stuffs there are. Like when you are focus when you are focusing on vulnerabilities, first learn the vulnerability, solve every lab in the world that you see. Okay, before that, before going to your vulnerability part, at least try to understand what are the different methods of subdomain hunting, not just a single subfinder, a mass, and such stuff. You need to know different methods of finding subdomains if you want to become an elite hacker that you dream of, or you can live your life complaining. Okay.
Yeah, and it's what I hear as well is that you have these clear distributions where you first do this, then do that, then do that. I try to do the same. I don't do brute forcing or like I don't do broad scope often, but when I do, I have this system set up where basically I feed it a
Exactly.
like you feed it
Yeah.
this and it
Yeah.
goes
Yeah.
there. But in the end, the manual review is there because what I do is I tag it with AI. And then with the AI tags, I first look at the login pages. That's just to sort things, but I look at everything.
Yeah.
Like
That's
my
a
favorite
actually.
technique, just a stupid thing. My favorite technique to find subdomains is to just go to Google dorking. Like,
Yeah,
like
exactly. That's one of the best methods. Actually, because you can find internal implementations, you can find XMLs, you can find dictionaries and tons of files where there might be many more hidden stuffs. Okay, Google dorking is one of the best methods. Like you can do
And
find a subdomain, each subdomain goes in Google Dork, you find more subdomain. Okay, that way as well you can do. I earlier, like you can automate your whole work process as well, but make it unique and don't post everything on GitHub. Yeah, varna, like
absolutely. Yeah, and like this is a stupid cross-site scripting I found on the Wayback Machine. The way that I did that is like I fed it data because I fed it my labs. I was like index my labs, but I fed it with a an attack string. It was just a simple cross-site scripting alert. And then in that round history thing that you have, if you hover over it, it'll pop. But the idea is that you're finding ways to input data that normally you wouldn't really think of, right?
yeah, exactly. That's actually a very important process. But what can
Like
we
this,
even say?
and when it comes to like the hacking that you do, right? I hear that there's a lot of understanding. How do you divide your time between learning and actually executing?
My very process of learning is execute. The best way to learn is execution. Like
I
learn a
love it.
vulnerability and go hunt it, man. You obviously know you wouldn't find it. You would gain knowledge. You would gain knowledge that isn't textbook related. You won't gain the
Yeah,
structured thing, but you would gain knowledge. Yeah,
yeah, and
you would get experience. You would get the intuition to like literally know where the vulnerability is before even visiting the site. At this point, like I can see a subdomain and at least tell that this page has this content in it.
yeah,
Okay,
and
that's how.
you're also creating the exploits I hear in labs. You're just setting up labs. That's great because that's the best way to learn is just to do
Yeah,
it.
actually, like first off, learn it and solve all the labs there are. Make your own labs, solve those. Then further, if you want, you can go through reports. Tons of reports there are. They would give you perspective as to where you can find the vulnerabilities. Then you can move on and find more such technical related vulnerable package dependency confusion vulnerabilities, prototype pollution, insecure deserialization, bean validation, and so many stuffs there are. Like
So
the list is actually endless. You know?
yeah, like hacking, like in essence, hacking is boring because hacking is like lots of trying to understand, lots of staring at your computer, just, oh, what the hell is this request? But the finding of the exploit, that's not boring. That's anything but boring, right?
Yeah,
It's like,
yeah, yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
I hacked you.
That's actually the very reason I'm in cybersecurity.
Yeah, and
Like
it's also something that people should stop. Like I say, people should really stop. Like I see this, for example, I found an exploit, bug crowd didn't accept it. I go complain on Twitter. Fuck off, dude. Like, okay, you didn't get. What's the
that,
point?
that's that's actually like okay. I won't really comment on it or something because it might hit me later. But I would say that that is not a really good part. That just shows that you are incapable. That doesn't proves that you are very good. You are like crying like a little child, and that's all it
Yeah,
proves.
and even if that exploit is real, if that exploit doesn't matter to the company, it doesn't matter to the
It
company.
doesn't matter because see, if you want to avoid this null and void and duplicate situation, you just need to be fast enough to report and have an impact oriented mindset. Not just that I want an XSS, but it turns out it is a self XSS. Yeah, it would be like
Yeah,
it won't have an impact. If it is a reflected XSS, tell me how are you going to gain a cookie out of it? How are
yeah,
you going to do? Yeah, because it won't make sense until it won't really be impactful until you actually think like an attacker, right? The most important stuff is that you think like an attacker, you attack like an attacker. You are not there to be just someone who is auditing and doing stuff. Your name is hacker. Do stuffs related to your name, man. Be a hacker.
Yeah. And what I say is stop expecting a reward for it.
Yeah,
Everybody wants a pat on the
actually.
back. Good job, good job. Like fuck off with your money. Like go make your money other ways. The way I make money is business to business. That's not bug bounties is nice. Of course, you can make big
It
money
is a
out of it.
casino, like as you said in one
Yes.
of your videos. I saw literally it is a casino. I whenever I like submit a vulnerability, I go submitted, done. I don't expect anything. Done. I popped the shell. I got a vulnerability. I reported it. Now go to hell. Like give me a bounty or do whatever you want. Fix it or not, that depends on you.
Yeah, and
Okay,
like
I won't go around shouting, "Oh, they rejected my report. Oh, this is a duplicate." I got 8 duplicates in a row after working for 3 weeks. Okay, that's how bad it was for me. But as I said, it is an integral part of me. It doesn't matter. Why does it matter? Just move on. Just find the bigger vulnerabilities. They won't be able to reject it. Just find something insane that they would go, oh shit. That's how you have to be.
Yeah, and like sometimes I find a broken access control. I'm too lazy to even report that thing, and I know I shouldn't be, but it's yeah. I found it good. I have my rush now. I like for. Am I really gonna spend 30 minutes reporting for 100 euros?
Exactly. I would hack Google instead of documentation. That's how I think. Okay, I
Dude,
would go on the hunt on Google and find some vulnerabilities instead of just documenting. At this point, what I do is send my report to ChatGPT, make the report, and just submit it as it is. This is like who cares? Vulnerability explained, format is okay, everything is okay, explanation is in detail. But that's all it matters.
Yeah, for sure. And like I hear a lot. I'm hacking on bigger players. What I see is that you are just doing things not in a methodology. You're not looking for
No,
an
no, no.
exploit. Never.
Like I am looking for a way to harm the company, not a vulnerability, not even a like bounty. What I am looking for is an attack I can perform on that website. I am looking for something that impacts, that fetches me some details. I need to think that way, or else it won't really be meaningful. You waste time and do stuff just reporting and going around getting burnt out that, oh man, they rejected me, that they rejected me. That isn't the perspective, right?
So I'm going to guess that you're probably not going to go and open up a butcher shop or anything, right? Seems safe to say that you're probably going to be a hacker for a long time. You were working a lot on mobile platforms like iOS and
Yeah,
Android, right? Like, how do you
yeah,
do
yeah.
you use emulators? Do you use real devices?
uh, I do use real devices, though I don't have iOS, obviously. I have an iOS which is of my brother, and he won't ever give me his phone for testing purposes. So I need an
Oh,
emulator for
bro,
that reason.
this would be great because I have an iPhone 8 here. If you want it, I can send it. It's jailbreakable. I didn't upgrade it.
No emulator does majority of my stuff. So, and if
That's
if
good.
I'm actually in a need of finding like a vulnerability and I need the thing itself, then I would just buy it now.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, I was just kidding. But like that's I just wanted to say that because it's important that you have the right devices for this, especially if you do iOS. You can't just have the latest version of iOS. You need a jailbreakable device for this kind of crap. But that's why like I do iOS pen testing, for example, and I am one of the few people that can do that because I have the iOS device in my possession.
Like right now, as of now, I don't really focus much on iOS, but I focus more on Android security. Okay, like finding full chain RCEs, zero click RCEs, and stuff like that. I'm researching more on it. Um, yeah, That's what
It's
I
a
got to say
like
about this.
I would for sure recommend people to look into Frida, into objection if you're interested in that kind of shit.
Yeah, yeah,
What
yeah,
kind of
yeah.
tools would you recommend to people look into if they want to do mobile hacking?
But tools in specific
I
tools.
heard you like there's a lot that you say, like for example, the same as I do. When I hack a website, I don't need anything except for the developer console. I just need
Yeah,
the
exactly,
developer console.
exactly. I don't really like tools in specific. You need GitHub, okay? To find stuff, you need the application APK. You need, okay, the you need to reverse it and find the native libraries present in it. Then further find memory corruption in it, or for RC in that case, or you can find the application itself and use an emulator. I guess that's all it requires. Mob SF,
Like I
yeah,
hear
yeah.
that like you're trying to like explain the process of like how to hack into an RCE, but could you go a little bit deeper into that? Maybe like that whole attack chain. That's interesting.
You wanna know? Okay.
Yeah, for
Yeah, sure.
sure.
Sure, I can go. Let's see. The whole attack chain goes like you have seen the Pegasus. You remember Pegasus? Pegasus was
Yeah,
one of
for
the,
sure.
yeah, was one of the disasters. Uh, now, such RCEs are called as zero-click RCEs. Okay, where you gain a RCE by a mere voice call. Okay, in that case, listen. So the thing is, when you call, when you do a phone call through WhatsApp, there goes a VoIP stack at a protocol level. Okay, at a protocol level, there exists a VoIP stack, which which handles the VoIP stuffs you do. And in case you are able to find a memory corruption in that VoIP stack, you can further proceed with a RCE, not on the whole Android, but inside on the user ID, UID of no, sorry, process ID of the application itself. Now, WhatsApp, the Pegasus exploited VoIP, which is call. Okay, VoIP, we all know, voice over IP. Now, that's what's the protocol that was being used on by WhatsApp. They found a binary exploitation vulnerability in that VoIP stack. Now I give you a call, you receive it or you don't receive it. Doesn't even matter, and the VoIP gets boom, and you have overwritten the stuffs at the victim's system. Okay, you have overwritten the memory in the victim system. Now after that is done, you get a RC but inside a sandbox, because applications aren't that stupid enough to just simply give an RC. Okay, so they sandbox your whole process. The Android sandbox your whole process. You need to find a sandbox escape further moving on. Like when you for example, the what WhatsApp was having was earlier the sandbox was very weak, so they also found a way to bypass the sandbox. Like when you get a RCA by a process ID of WhatsApp, you can further exploit Google application. Okay, the local applications you can exploit, and you can proceed with a privilege escalation using kernel exploits. Okay, so kernel exploits, yeah, there is tons of work you need to do. You need to fuzz a lot. This is in case I'm explaining of Pegasus, but the ones we are like the most relevant right now is a Chrome one. Okay, so you click a link and your mobile gets hacked. Now the process for that is that Chrome, whenever a website is rendered, okay, it is also being done at JS level. Okay, like there is a JavaScript engine that exists which processes the whole JavaScript you have written. Okay, when you move further, there are array buff and there are many things. So when you move further, you see that there are internals. which we today call as V8 turbofan, which are taken after like cars. But these stuffs are what we find binary exploitation in and get a renderer RC. Now let me explain. See, you have a website, you have a tab with it, right? Like even in this case, if this is a meet call, okay, for example, now this whole meet call is in a tab, and it is isolated to that renderer process. Okay, and there are many such processes you need to escape. Then you further go to a Chrome level. Okay, you find an RCE, you get a way to further proceed with sandbox escape. Then you can go at a Chrome level. Okay, first you are at a tab level. You in a web, you are still on a tab. You have found the RCE, but inside a tab. Further, you have to proceed with getting an RCE in the whole Chrome. Okay, you need to possess the Chrome's process ID. Then when you get that, you need to further exploit a sandbox escape. Uh, then when you have exploited a sandbox escape, you need to find a like linear privilege escalation. Okay. Then when you have found it, then after that, you need to find a kernel exploitation, kernel exploit, such that you can get a ring zero level access. And at that point is finally when you get a RC. This is the whole chain.
Holy shit. So if I can, from what I understand, basically, let's say from Pegasus, basically you're going to attack the VoIP stack. From there, you're going to move into the sandbox, and then you escape into the sandbox away from there.
You escape from sandbox. Then you further go on to the Android system UID, which is already a pretty high privilege. But if you are still keen to get a stealthy one, okay, a more stealthy, like what I am currently explaining, it is used by nation state attackers. Okay, like that for APT level stuff. This is okay. Then you explain, you then go to a kernel exploit level. Then you crack you pop a shell in kernel. Okay, you get a RC in kernel. Then at that point you have the true access that Pegasus had. And this whole process, believe me, can be failed even if you are giving like 5 years. You give 5 years for it, still you would get nothing. That's how tedious this process is. Okay, believe me, like I have been doing it for a long time, and even I am currently struggling with it. Yeah, let's see what happens next.
I've been doing it for a long time, he says, with 15 years of age. God damn it. Unbelievable. Like this kind of stuff is really interesting for me because I don't fully understand any of this shit. I'm gonna be very honest. Like for me, like JS literal sandbox escapes are already like super impressive stuff. But what you're explaining to me here is like full chains. How would I, the stupid idiot, protect myself from this? Can I protect myself?
No way, you can't. Just leave. Just stop using an Android, man. Don't use a mobile. That's because this stuff isn't having a fix. That's why the reason why APTs use this stuff, not those other stuffs. Why do they use zero click and 0 days? It's because they aren't having a fix. They have no fix. You can't protect yourself. Okay, this is what I meant by not having a developer mistake, but a system level mistake. Okay, here we are literally exploiting a system level mistake. Okay, so it can't be fixed. A user cannot protect himself from it. This is doom. This is doomsday. That's the end.
Jesus Christ.
Because you can surely fix your you can surely stop using your Android and start using don't use anything, like use a telephone or something.
I was just about to say, you're gonna say use iOS. iOS has the same shit.
iOS is the same shit. Yeah, exactly. iOS is the same shit. Here we exploit what we exploit. V8. They're a bit different. There exists a bit different engine. Okay, there is a bit like here you have less sandbox escape you have to do. There you just have to increase the amount of sandbox escape you have to find. That's all. Okay.
So, in essence, like Android, iOS is not better protected than and maybe a little bit because you have to escape
No,
the
it
sandbox.
like yeah, exactly. That's the
And
security
if you talk,
iOS gives. Yeah. So the security that iOS gives uh, is in terms of more sandboxes. You have longer process, like for every step you need to give passwords, you have protections for every freaking step. Okay, you need to verify everything. That's all it is in iOS. Like even the iOS, you like developers don't state that it is the most safest system. Okay, even they believe that their iOS might be getting exploited. Even at this point, there might exist a vulnerability which is actively being exploited by some APT, just not known to us. Where we when the Pegasus was being exploited, were we knowing for years? Were we knowing that the exploit existed? Nothing. We had no single clue of it, but it was being actively exploited. Because that's why the we say the myth that security doesn't exist. Okay, that's the truth. And that's actually why we say security doesn't exist, because when you are saying that phrase from a higher perspective, from my level, you would know that that actually means something. It isn't just that a developer comes and fixes it. The system itself has flaws. The systems we have been using for years right now, okay, it might have a flaw that you and I are not aware of. Okay,
basically,
you don't know.
an ace,
Like right now, the computers we are using. Can you guarantee me that after 20 years of evolution, like more, after 20 years, we would be using the same laptop? No, right? Even right now, the science we are using, the computer science, I mean, even now the computer science we are using, it is still being developed regular basis. New programming languages are just appearing. It isn't structured yet. It sure is structured, but not complete yet. It is incomplete. We are still making it. And in that process, it is obvious that something made by a human is exploitable. Okay, even like you go at a signal level. Okay, that's what I talked just now was architecture level stuff. You go on signal level, you go radio hacking. Okay, you go Bluetooth hacking. There also exist fundamental vulnerabilities. Even right now, we don't know that there might exist a vulnerability in the RAM. Okay, literally the RAM we know today might have a vulnerability which can be exploited, like a row hammer. There are so many
like,
vulnerabilities.
that's
Security really is
crazy,
a myth.
dude. That's really crazy because what I'm hearing is the more complex the system, the more exploit points are possible,
Yeah,
basically.
exactly. Because you are just giving us more doors to open.
And even in very old ideas like asymmetric encryption, because it's an architecture, there could be a flaw that we're missing that could still make it possible to
Yeah,
decompile
exactly.
the two prime factors or something.
Even right now, like the encryption methods we are using, there are existing methods that we can be used. Yeah, that we can use to predict the random integers we find, right? Like the for an integer, there is a RNG engine, right? We use and Cloudflare provides one of the solutions for making an unpredictable seed for the RNG. And further moving on, this is cryptography. What I'm talking currently. In cryptography, there are methods that exist. We can find those random stuffs, okay, which was originally said to be random, but it wasn't truly random because it is predictable as well. Like
That's
you get you use random words generator, okay, or random number generator. Now what it does is it has a initial seed it uses, which
mhm.
further that seed is used to make the random numbers we are getting. Now if that seed is known, you can produce that exact random stuff at your level. Okay, that's how passwords and many such hack. Okay,
I
like
I can. Sorry, go ahead.
let me tell you. So the more higher level you go, okay, the more interconnections you can see. Because I am at this level, I can see interconnection at many different things, right?
So it is really important, if I hear correctly, to do know like a lot of different things, not just be specialized in one thing, but know a lot of different things, right?
Now that actually depends upon you. Like I am a very obsessed guy, I would learn it. Okay, if you are as obsessed as me, sure, go ahead. I won't really say anything to you. But yeah, specialization, you have to but make sure one thing, that you aren't spreading too thin. Okay, if you get spread in too many things, you won't be able to specialize in one thing, right? You won't be master of something. You would be jack of all but master of none, right? You don't need to spread yourself too thin. You need two things which you have specialized and are in depth in it. So I personally am having a lot of knowledge, but I personally specialize in source code review, web application security, and binary exploitation. These two are my majors. Okay, that's how it should be for you if you are applying my logic.
Indeed, you see, you clearly have a few specializations, but you have a very broad basic
Yeah, yeah,
knowledge of what, right?
yeah, exactly. So
Like I,
actually, that broad knowledge actually helps in finding more interconnections and unique perspectives. You can find vulnerabilities, right? The more perspectives you have, the more vulnerabilities you can find.
absolutely, that's really fascinating, especially the fact that you are busy a lot with this stuff in your day, right? This takes up like a majority of your day. I think we talked about this before. You said that hacking is like brushing your teeth for you, right?
Yeah, exactly. I do have to manage college, but for that I need to get time. Like I need to manage somehow, because that's how it is. Yeah, see, the thing is that motivation is a external stuff. When you are reliant on a external thing for motivation, you won't ever get a long term motivation. Okay, it won't sustain for long. That's one of the things that I believe you should have internally. Okay, motivation doesn't comes from outside, it comes from inside.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and
that's how it works.
even being able to push ahead if you don't have motivation is important. If you have your goal in mind, you can push forward. If you don't have motivation,
You need a proper path. Like I do have a proper path. I know what I want to do in the future. I know I have a complete path of what I want to do, what I want to achieve, and I have dedicated myself to it. That's all it requires. Motivation doesn't comes from external stuff. Okay, it comes from a
and
goal. You wake up, you wake up, you do it, you sleep, you wake up, do it, sleep, wake up, do it, sleep. Progress, achievements doesn't matter, because it's as normal as toothbrush.
yeah, and you seem to also be somebody who, like, if you want to learn, you will find a way to learn. You've said it a few times. You'll find a way to learn.
Exactly, like that's how I made it back then.
Can you give me a few tips on learning itself? How do you learn new stuff?
How do I learn? So in terms of learning, if you say, okay, learning, yeah, just do it, man. I said it before as well. Just do it. Why do you need a structured manner? The more structured you are, the more constraints you are having. Like you are like
Oh man,
today I'm going to learn this. No, don't do that.
yeah,
If you are just using YouTube or just using HackerOne for your resources, no, you are just limiting yourself. I guess
yeah.
that structure kills curiosity. The more structured you make things, the
Like
more inflexible you become.
there's one structure I feel like a lot of people should have, and not you and me because we work different. Like I work 18 hours per week, but I do different things. I build labs, I do different stuff just for my audience, and I try to be a good community leader. But like a lot of people, what you should have is you need this many hours in the week you have free. Okay, you're just gonna spend that time learning. Or if you really need to rest, take 80% of that, spend 20% resting. But at least you have that time then to like, and even if you're like, okay, now I don't have the time to learn, fine. But like for me, what I feel like is if I want to learn, I'll make the time. You know what I mean? It's like if I really want to know something, I'll just make the time to learn. But still, I know from myself that I have 40 hours a week where I'm working. I have 80 hours a day that I need to sleep. I have at least 4 hours a day I want to spend with my kid. And the rest, like you say, is flow state. Flow state is so important. Like just
Exactly.
go
Yeah,
with
yeah,
it.
yeah. Like, um, like when I'm hacking, uh, I just keep hacking, and at some point, I totally run on intuitions. Like I won't even realize what is happening. Like if even if an earthquake comes, I would need someone to shake me to get out of that flow state. That state where I am hacking. That's like the mode I go in. You sit, you snap, and you go. You do it. You hack it.
I'm learning so much from you, bro. I really am. And I so much appreciate all of these answers. Like, thank you so much for taking the time to join on the channel. I'm going to cut it off here for the video, but I would like to ask you, do you have any final words for us? Is there anything that you want to tell?
The more you waste your time on those duplicates and those stuffs that you feel are nonsense or not making sense for you, the more knowledge you would gain and the more intuition you would gain. Okay, that's not something that's going to help you in the short term, but it's surely going to help you in the long term. That's
That's
what I want to say.
awesome. I want to put your socials in the description below so people can follow you. I feel like we can learn a lot from this guy, guys. So like gals, guys, rats, go follow him. I feel like you need 150,000 followers. And that's what I mean. In this world, there are so many people like you who deserve a spot so much more than me, but you just dedicate your life to the work. And that's freaking awesome, dude. Thank you so much. Applause for you. Really, you should be proud, man. You probably know this, but you should be proud of all of your achievements. Thank you so much once again. Really appreciate it.
Thank you. Thank you.